Dipasa Pradhan, and I was responsible for the front-end styling and data visualization of our personality prediction system trade tracker. In this part of the video, I will be explaining the front-end design and result visualization of our personality prediction system. Our goal was to create a system that is not only accurate but also simple and engaging for the users. After completing the personality assessment, users can easily navigate through the dashboards and clearly understand their results through a clean and interactive interface. To achieve this, we designed responsive pages that work well across different screen sizes while maintaining a consistent layout, colors, spacing, and overall user experience. Starting with the candidate dashboard, users can access their assessment information and results in an organized way. Similarly, the company dashboard allows recruiters to view candidate information through a structured and easy to read interface. One of the key features of our system is the results page. Once the backend predicts the user's big 5 personality traits, the front end automatically receives those predictions and displays them using personality scorecards, interactive charts, and a result summary. This makes it much easier for users to understand their strengths across the 5 personality dimensions instead of viewing only numerical values. The system also includes a report download feature allowing users to save their personality assessment results for future reference. My contribution focused on designing these interfaces, styling the application, building the dashboard layouts, developing the result visualizations, and integrating the front end with the back end so that the prediction results are displayed dynamically and in a user friendly way.
Here, I work on the data cleaning and preparation part of our personality prediction system. First, I loaded the dataset, which originally contained 85,301 records and 110 columns. Then I selected the 15 personality questions used for calculating the big 5 traits. I selected 15 specific personality questions, tinta questions, each of openness, consciousness, extraversion, agreeableness, and emotional stability. I then selected separate metadata features such as screen information, response time, and country as the model inputs. Next, I removed missing and invalid records, encoded the country values, and after cleaning, we had 80,270 valid records with the required features ready for the next machine learning stage.
Hi, I'm going to walk you through my implementation of machine learning pipeline for trade tracker, focusing on target architecture and model training. After I received clean data, I set up environment and applied reverse scoring to normalize negative survey items. Next, I isolated safe metadata features like screen dimensions and completion time while building binary targets for big 5 personality traits. Then I split the data and trained a multi-output random forest classifier using skitlearn to predict all 5 personality traits at once. Finally, I evaluated the individual trait accuracies and exported the finished model as a .pkl file for the real-time API development. Thank you.
Hi everyone, I am Eva Rai and this is our capstone project Trait Tracker. It is a web-based system that predicts a user's big 5 personality traits from an assessment. My contribution focused mainly on the front-end and security components. I worked on password validation, authentication, session protection, CSRF security, informed consent, access control, and secure survey submission. Here in security.py, I created the password validation function. It checks that a password has at least 8 characters and contains uppercase and lowercase letters, a number, and a special symbol. I implemented this because weak passwords make user account easier to compromise. This function is reusable during both account registration and password resetting. The next section creates and validates CSRF tokens. The backend generates a secure random token and stores it in the user session. For requests that modify data, the frontend sends this token through the CSRF token header. The backend securely compares the submitted tokens with the session tokens. If it is missing or incorrect, the request is rejected with a 403 response. I added this to the project to protect the logged in users from forged requests coming from another website. I also created reusable authentication and authorization decorators. The login underscore required decorator checks whether a user ID exists in the server session. If no valid session exists, the application returns a 401 response. The role underscore required decorator performs an additional role check. Trade Tracker has candidate, company, and admin roles. Restricted routes are only executed when the session contains one of the permitted roles. In authorization.py, the registration route receives the user's email and password. It validates the input and checks the password strength requirements. The password is then hashed with flags by crypt before it is stored in the database. The next section shows the informed consent implementation. Before taking the assessment, users must explicitly accept the privacy and security agreement. When consent is accepted, the backend records the consent version in the database, saves it in the session, and creates an activity log. Admin analytic route demonstrates role-based access control. The role underscore required admin decorator ensures that ordinary candidates and company users cannot access administrative information. On the front end, I created a shared secure fetch function. It attaches the CSRF token and includes the session credentials when sending protected API request. If a CSRF token expires, the function can obtain a new token and retry the request. The server JavaScript manages the user journey. It verifies authentication and consent, validates the assessment responses, track progress, and securely submit the completed answers to the backend. The consent page clearly explains how personality information will be used and requires the user to actively select the agreement before continuing. Finally, the secure survey route connects my front-end and security work to the personality prediction component. My responsibility was to ensure that the user was authenticated, had provided informed consent, and had submitted valid answers before the prediction process was called.